What up, basketball fans? It's your boy Mo Hoops, here to talk to you today about the Houston Rockets and all their drama that's been unfolding over the last 24 hours. So my take on it is they're getting beat down by the Denver Nuggets at home by halftime yesterday. The coaches and the team go into the locker room. The coaches decide to call out the players for their lack of effort, lack of focus, lack of intensity. And two players in particular get upset about this, and they decide to pout like immature little kids. Those two players, as we all know by now, are Christian Wood and Kevin Porter Jr. So let me start with Kevin Porter Jr. Kevin Porter Jr. needs to realize that he's getting another opportunity in the NBA after his issues that he had in Cleveland. He's also had issues with domestic abuse in the past with his girlfriend. He's been arrested before for having guns and drugs in his car. He got into it with the GM of the Cleveland Cavaliers and ended up throwing some chicken at him, apparently, which is funny. Like, why chicken? You know what I'm saying? Somebody could have ate the chicken, no problem. But nonetheless, he got off to a rocky start in his career in Cleveland because of certain issues and his emotional intelligence or lack thereof. And now let's speed it up to yesterday. So yesterday he felt like John Lucas, who's a very respected coach around the league. He's been in the NBA for years. He played in the NBA, very respected around the league. He felt that John Lucas was singling him out because of his play. So what Kevin Porter Jr. does is decides to hop in his car during halftime and leave the arena. He's like, all right, I'm out. I don't like what you got to say to me, so I'm out. So I don't understand how a professional player could be so entitled, could respond so immaturely. Now, here's my thing. So you gave up 47 first quarter points to the Denver Nuggets. You need your ass chewed out by your coaching staff. There's no excuse for giving up 47 points in a quarter. There's never an excuse for that. Even if the team is supremely better than you, your efforts should go up a level. So even if you're not the most talented team, as a professional ball player, your level of effort and heart should never be questioned. So I think that's where I agree with the coaching staff on that. And then let's talk about Christian Wood. And I went to the game on New Year's Eve against the Heat, and I was telling my friend who was there with me that all season I felt like Christian Wood is only playing for himself. He's only playing to try to get another contract. He's not a team-oriented guy. So yesterday, he gets chewed out by John Lucas and Stephen Silas at halftime. So during the second half of the game, he decides he's not going to check in. He refuses to check into the game. This is not the way you get another contract extension. No team wants a player who's not a super great player to start off. He's a solid player, but he's not great. No team wants a player who is going to pout, is not going to be professional, is going to refuse to check into the game, all because you're being called out for shit that you need to do better. So I like the coaching staff for doing this. I've never been big on Silas since we've signed him as our head coach, but this showed me something. This showed me that he's no longer going to accept the BS from the young players. And I get it, the Rockets are in a rebuild right now, but you have to understand, when you're rebuilding, you have to build a culture and you have to build good habits. Giving up 47 points in a quarter, not gonna cut it. And it's not all KPJ and C. Wood's fault for giving up 47 points. But from what I read, no other player had complaints about this, or at least they didn't make it be known. They handled it in a professional manner. They came out in the second half and they lost the game, but they only lost by, I think it was 13. So they got back into the game. They fought back into the game because that's what professionals do. That's how professionals respond. So with all this being said, based on how KPJ and Wood reacted to being chastised by the coaching staff for lack of effort and not making smart plays, I don't think Kevin Porter is a good fit at point guard anyway. I think he's more of a natural two guard, and I think he would play a six-man role really well. As far as Christian Wood, to me, he's very replaceable. And I'm going to just say this. I hate when he shoots those stupid sidestep threes where he barely grazes the iron and misses and then trots back on defense, allowing the other big to outrun him to the rim and get a bucket. I've seen that too many times from him, and I'm tired of seeing it. So along with those constant things and the lack of professionalism, I say, if possible, get him out of here, because we're trying to build a winning culture. We're obviously not going to be, a championship team anytime soon. But in a rebuild mode, you have to start building these winning characteristics. And Wood is the highest paid player on the team right now, if I'm not mistaken. So that's not setting a good example for the younger guys. There have been coaches in his past, like Dwayne Casey in Detroit, who he warned Detroit against signing Christian Wood because of his lack of effort, his bad attitude, not willing to buy in, only playing for Christian Wood instead of the team. Basketball is a team sport. So players like that need to get on board, or they don't need to be a part of what the Rockets are trying to build. So that's my take on it. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment, like, and subscribe. And as soon as more information comes out, whether there will be punishments by the team for these two players, then we'll discuss that some more. Personally, I think they both should be suspended 2 to 3 games without pay. And then once they come back, they still need to be accepting of the role that the coaches offer them. And if not, after that, then they can kick rocks, because it's already to the point where Sengun should be starting anyway. And when KPJ's on the court, they off-look Green a lot. Green doesn't get enough touches, in my opinion, since he's the player that we truly want to build around for the future. He's our number 2 draft pick. So I feel like if the players around him are going to stunt his growth and act childish and not be professional, then get him out of here, because they're becoming a cancer. And you play professional sports to be coached. If you're not willing to be coached, what are you doing in the league? Who is Christian Wood to try to be moving, flexing on anybody? And yet he ended up pouting like a little kid. I just don't get it. I'm a big Rockets fan. I love the Rockets. I like Christian Wood. I think he's a solid player. I don't think he's a player where you can build around him, obviously. So, therefore, I don't believe that the Rockets should put up with his unprofessionalism and lack of effort. Like I said at the beginning of this video, no NBA player should ever be questioned for lack of effort. That should never happen. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.